There's an old saying that goes like this: home is where the heart is. What it means is a home is not necessarily a structure or a geographic location. That home is about being with the people you love. And God has to remind King David of this in 1 Chronicles chapter 17. When 1 Chronicles chapter 17 opens, David is moving into his new home, the palace, and he's so thankful to be there that he has this strong desire to build God a home in which to dwell, a temple. But God stops him and reminds him, hey, David, I've always lived with my people, among my people. I've always traveled with him. I've always been mobile. He's referring to the tabernacle in the wilderness. Now he tells David, I will eventually raise up one of your sons who will build me a temple. Historically, he's speaking of Solomon, who was one of David's sons, and after David passed away, Solomon built a magnificent temple for God. But theologically, he's talking about Jesus, because Jesus was known as the Son of David. And Jesus, by his death on the cross, paid for our sins, and he cleared the way so that he could keep living not only with us, but in us. The Apostle Paul, writing to believers in Corinth, said it this way in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. He said, don't you realize that all of you together are the temple of God and that God's Spirit lives in you? God still wants to be mobile with his people. He still wants to live with his people. Only now, instead of living in a tent with cloth and poles, he wants to live in tents of flesh and blood. He started it with Jesus, and now he wants to carry it on with us. And so my prayer is that you'll realize you are the tabernacle of God, the dwelling place of God, that he lives with you, he moves with you, he goes wherever you go. Because home is where the heart is, and God's heart is with his people. Be a great home for God this week. I'll see you next week.